Live from the Pines, Gary Ivins Jr., a.k.a. Big Nasty, Texas High School Football Show. Can you believe it's already week 8? The weather's changing. Times are getting serious. It's Texas High School football in full effect right now.
Getting close to going to New Orleans. Everything's fast-forwarding quickly, boys.
Will Spoon, I think Will Spoon already has the ring on.
I mean, well, next Wednesday, y'all going to be down there partying easy without me.
And then Friday, the Panthers kick off at home, the biggest game of the year. And then Saturday,
I'm driving down Saturday morning.
Yeah, we get the party rolling. You know, we get the Little Spoon, and we call her, what are we going to call her, Mama Spoon? We get Mama Spoon, Little Spoon married off.
Mr. and Mrs. Spoon.
No, it's still going to be Little Spoon Podge. I don't think I'm going to get Mr. and Mrs. Spoon yet. You know, you're not a Mr. yet. Even though you got facial hair, a house, and a ring and everything, you're still Little Spoon.
Yeah. I'll never be able to beat you.
You know, the Pack had last week off. Well needed a week off. Kids get healthy. You know, like Coach Apsek said in Q&A, you know, you get a chance to go back to the basics and go over some stuff that you just haven't got a chance to cover, you know, with the season being going on. But, you know, we're back in full effect this Friday. We're headed to Baytown, play a good Baytown Sterling team. And, you know, this game means a lot.
So there's no doubt about that. While we were off, a lot of other things are going on. Of course, United stayed in the playoff hunt with a win over Galveston Ball, but the other two in Westbrook rolled up Sterling, not surprised there, and Port Arthur rolled up Barbers Hill. And again, I'm not surprised there. There's going to be some other big games here, big games there, but the next big one after tonight, or Friday night, will be Week 10 when Barbers Hill goes to Beaumont to play Westbrook. Nothing is going to be decided until that game is played, no matter what happens before then.
And you know, like we said, this week determines a lot for a lot of teams in our district. And, you know, as long as our kids just realize you go out and play the game that you've been playing and, you know, go win a ball game. That's all you got to do, you know, and everything's behind you. And, you know, it sounds a lot easier than what it is, but, you know, these kids have been prepared for this, and they had a good practice this week and last week. So, you know, we're just ready to get on the road and, you know, get ready for kickoff.
Well, I think you can tell update us on the injury front. I know Roberts played very well against Westbrook. There's no question about that, but we're going to need all hands on deck this week with the running capability of Sterling. Like we said, Lewis is their stud. He's averaging 25 rushes per ball game, and also almost 170 yards rushing per ball game in district play. Is our man number 11 going to be on the field come Friday night? I think that's the big question.
Yeah. Is that his name?
Jamaria Davis.
No. I was talking about for Baytown.
Oh,
number 2.
Yeah, Lewis.
Yeah.
Coach Absek, you know, he talked about it. And, you know, Jamaria he's healing, and, you know, he's ready to get back on the field and play Friday. So, you know, that's big, you know, having him back in the middle. And
so because I have not heard officially he's playing.
I thought we couldn't talk about it because people from Westbrook were watching it last show.
Well, it was already.
I just would like to know for me personally.
Yeah, it was already publicized.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I'm worried.
No, but Gary, like you said, a lot of big games last week. You know, Barbers Hill gets beat by Port Arthur Memorial. Westbrook takes care of Sterling, and, you know, like you said earlier in the show, early in the season, this show, you know, each week, you know, anything can happen with this district. You know, it's proven already. Sterling's already won, 1 or 2 games already in district?
They're 2-1. Yeah, they beat Galveston Ball by 1 the first week, and then turned that right around a short week, and was able to tack on a couple of touchdowns against and beat Barbers Hill, which, again, you know, that game is right now the biggest upset in the district. But I don't think they're done. I think the Rangers are trying to do the same thing to us come Friday night. And I'm telling you, I have gone through every playoff scenario for Lumpkin. And if we don't win this game Friday night, there is only one other way that we can get in, assuming if we don't win this, I think we can all assume we're not going to beat Port Arthur. And if we don't win this one and we lose to Port Arthur, the only other way to get in for us, even at fourth place, is for Beaumont. Westbrook has got to beat Barbers Hill, or we're not going to make the playoffs.
And, that's part of having your back against the wall. And, it's all about how we respond this week. This game dictates a lot, like you say. And I think that the kids know it. They understand what's at stake, and, they understand they got to take care of business. And all we can do is load up Friday and gas up and hit the road and go support.
It's crazy because we control our own destiny for winning the district championship, but we don't control our own. Well, obviously we do, but there's just a way where we can do whatever happens, miss the playoffs. We can still get second. We can still get third. It's just a lot of things up for grabs. In order for us to get second, obviously, if we win Friday and lose to Pam, we're going to need Beaumont to beat Barbers Hill, and we'll get second. If not, we're going to get third, which would mean we're not hosting a playoff game in round one. Again, that's all contingent. I'm basing everything on Barbers Hill or Port Arthur running through the district undefeated. I'm not saying they're coming to Lufkin and winning. I'm just trying to give you the different scenarios of what we're looking at here over the next month.
So if Lufkin, as it sits, wins out, their district champs?
Correct. We need no help.
And, biggest game, one of the biggest games of the year that can dictate a lot next Friday, we will not be there for it.
Sorry.
Well, I really say this one, Beaumont was actually the biggest. If we didn't beat Beaumont, I don't even think y'all understand the problem we were going to be in. Now we need this one. This is the game that we've got to have, and I know what's going through Coach Apsick's mind, or what's kind of going through mine. You look at the times we've gone on the road this year, and we won at Nacogdoches, but would y'all say we played well? Because I wouldn't. And we didn't play well with Longview, obviously, and we didn't play very good at Barbers Hill. So we haven't loaded up on the bus and gone on the road and played our best game, but they were even close in those three games. And that's going to be a big challenge coming up on Friday night. Yeah.
And, like you said, we kind of dictate our future. And, it can go one or two ways, basically. We either go out there and we play Lufkin Panther football, or, we come home and we got our backs against the wall and we got to put it in somebody else's hands.
Well, I mean, you say Lufkin Panther football. I mean, what do you think our brand of football is right now?
Right now?
I think this is a game that sets up good for us, and I'll tell you why. Because they're going to run the football. I mean, he's averaging 7 passes per game, okay? If you were to ask me the strength of our defense, what is it? It's stopping the run, and they got a huge offensive line. I don't think they're very strong. I'm not saying all that, but they're huge. They like to run it, and they like to drive. The problem is they could get on a 7, 8, 9 minute drive, and even if they get a field goal, and we come out and go 3 and out, and they go on another one, the first half's over, and it's 6-0, and you're going, what happened here? And this is the kind of deal when you go up against this long, I don't want to call it a wing T offense, but, man, they're going to run the football a lot.
Well, one thing about our guys on the defensive side of the ball, they like to hit. They're physical, and, we've been playing good against the run so far this season.
That's why I asked, is Davis coming back? Because I think he's a very integral part of us. I think we can still be successful without him, obviously, defensively. But, man, having him up front defensively just means another guy for our coaches to rotate and keep everybody healthy, because it's going to be all hands on deck on that front 7 for sure.
Yeah, especially, like you said, with him controlling the clock, going on those long 8, 9 minute drives. You're going to have to rotate some bodies up front.
Hopefully we can prevent that from happening.
Yeah, no doubt.
I was watching the tape on Westbrook. They just said screw it and started playing a 5-man front. Looked like the goal line defense in Madden. Just threw him out there and made him try to throw the ball.
I just got done playing that with my son.
Who won?
Man, he tricked me. So he picks a fake punt, okay? Well, then it gives you 3 defenses of a punt to put up there. Well, I'm not looking. I just click punt block or punt return or whatever. Well, he runs a fake, and I'm telling you, everybody's running wide open down the field. Touchdown. Just because I wasn't paying attention. Little prick.
Do you play with your glasses on?
No, I don't. The TV's farther away. I got it.
So, not much to talk about Love Trip because we didn't have a game last week. But one thing I always want to throw out there and ask y'all is, what do y'all think the most about this week? I know we got to win, but there's a lot more to it than that goes into play. What do you think things we have to do right offensively?
I mean, plays. Nothing breaks up that little 3-yard in a cloud of dust like getting you behind the 8 ball 7 or 14-0.
Yeah, I think that's big. I think from the end of last game in West Westbrook, and Coach talked about it, had the ball 4 times, scored 4 times. If whatever click there transitions to on the road down in Baytown, it's with the way the defense has been playing, I think that's where you see, quote unquote, our Lufkin Panther football. So I think that'll be big, is what kind of foot the offense starts on, because I think the defense is going to be there, especially if Davis is back. And with it sounds like Sterling being somewhat one-dimensional, if they're stout up front, it's going to be, can we put points on the board? And the way they close out the last game, we can. If that shows up again, I think it'll be a good game for the Lufkin Panthers.
Well, they're averaging 200 just in district now, 200 rushing a game and 60 passing. I'm telling you, he only drops back 5 times, and when he does, it looks like he's on the move.
Yeah.
They got one really talented receiver, Leaks number 6. That's his go-to. I think he's actually even a freshman. Those are the 2 playmakers we got to get a handle on, and I just don't see them out athleticizing us. The only thing that bothers me is they get on one of these 8 or 9 minute drives and eat up the clock and then scores a touchdown. And then we go out and don't answer. Now, that's when I think that's the only bad thing I see can happen. I really think we go down there and take care of business and win by about 20.
Yeah, and like you say, that's a lot to do, right? It's a lot to do, talking about it, but like we know, our kids can go do that for sure.
I also wasn't worried about losing to Barbers Hill. I was worried about Beaumont, man. I've been telling y'all this and telling y'all this. I didn't think Barbers Hill was that good. I think it said more about the night or the way we played that night than the talent Barbers Hill had. And I think we've seen that over the last couple of weeks pan out.
You're 100% right there. You go down there and lay an egg, and you get a really athletic Beaumont Westbrook team at home, and it didn't look like it was going either team's way at the start, and we kind of got into the fourth quarter and made something shake, and the crowd got very involved, and I think the fans helped boost the kids up a little bit, and they knew they had the fans behind them and everything, and it's a big game to win right there, like you said. Like no matter what, that game was a lot for us. It meant a lot, and it helped us a lot winning that ball game.
No, there's no doubt about that. And Friday night's just as big. We don't talk about winning a district championship and beating Port Arthur, but I'm telling you right now, this game Friday is huge, just as important as that game 2 weeks ago was. I think it was good. We got a bye week, and we're able to work on these guys for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, no doubt. Scores around us. Nacogdoches is 5-1. They still got to play Jacksonville. They still got to play. I want to say Hallsville, I believe it was, or Chapel Hill, something like that. I can't remember. But Nacogdoches is 5-1.
Well, that means that everybody we have played non-district wise, beside the Little Rock fiasco, is going to be a playoff team, whatever classification they are in. And then obviously 3 of our opponents out of district are going to make it. So 6 out of our 10 opponents will be playoff teams. And Nacogdoches is up to 5-1. I didn't see that quite coming, but although I will say that receiver they got, I'd throw it to him 25 times a game.
Little Rock, Arkansas is 0-6, 0-3 in district.
That is not surprising either.
No. They got beat 42-0. We beat them 76-0. They got beat 35-20, 57-21, 38-0, and North Little Rock beat them 41-0.
They were nowhere near as good as they were last year. Not even comparable.
They've scored 41 points this year.
That's tough.
Well, I hope we score that Friday.
I hope we score that. I agree with you 100%. We got to score some points Friday.
The update on District 12 5A is really coming into effect. I think Austin Anderson is going to win it. Weiss is 4-1, but they still got to play at College Station and then Anderson in week 10. College A&M Consolidated is 3-1, and they're done with pretty much all of their games. So they're looking in good shape. and then College Station is 3-2, and they still got to play Weiss. So if you were to ask me what I think is going to happen, I think Anderson is going to get first, Consolidated second, Weiss third, and College Station High fourth out of that district. Unless Weiss win at Austin Anderson.
That's a competitive district right there. Shout out to our guy Sean Clinch, Austin Anderson alum.
He's got 2 tough ones in the season at College Station and then playing Austin Anderson, which if they can beat College Station, which I wouldn't be shocked if they did, they'll be going to Austin for the district title at week 10.
It'll be a big game. And, hopefully we know a little bit more about where we end up at, after the next few weeks.
Well, just breaking this down, the way I forecast this out, I'm thinking LaPorte can't beat Angleton at home, so I'm giving Angleton that title. If we were to get runner-up in our district, so that'd be number 2. In the second round of the playoffs, our opponent will be, y'all want to guess?
College Station. I mean, not College Station, and Consolidated.
It'll be Angleton if we get second. If we get third, our second round opponent will be Anderson. If we get fourth, our second round opponent will be LaPorte. And if we were to win the district, our second round opponent will be A&M Consolidated. There's no weak sister out of those 4, was my point.
I like our chances with Consol. I like the history we've had with them. We've been successful. It's crazy part is we've been successful with both College Station teams, and last year just didn't come out the way we wanted to come out.
No, your boy at Weiss now, if they end up getting third, he's got to open with LaPorte.
That's not one you want to open with.
I'm sure he already knows that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's well aware of it. And they're playing some good football right there. I think they put 50-something points up last week in the second half. I know their quarterback won like this area they're in, a quarterback of the week award or something. So they got a gunslinger back there for sure. I know LaPorte likes to line up, run the football. They got a really good running back over there. I believe he was a freshman last year. He's a sophomore this year, and then everybody knows about Angleton. Angleton runs a wing tee, and they have a track team over there. They can play defense, but they have a very good track team over there.
Well, they play Halloween. I think it's the same night that Weiss plays at College Station, so a lot of big games that Halloween night. I think we're Beaumont United that night.
Is Halloween on a Friday this year?
I do believe. 31st.
That's perfect. My mom was wanting me to take my little cousin trick-or-treating around. I was like, why do I, I ain't going to get a detail there, but I'm just glad we got a football game. Tell me we're on the road.
Oh, yeah, at Beaumont.
Even better. We're going to roll out early.
Jeez.
Talk a little bit around our area. Corrigan versus Groveton. Crockett versus Corrigan versus Groveton. Big game. What do they call it? The battle.
Corrigan beat them, didn't they?
Corrigan beat them. What do they call it? The battle of
Man, if I hear him say God's country, how is it God's country? What, do you get lost going home or something? What? They call Corrigan God's country. I'm telling you, he was into that wine that night, looking around and ended up in Corrigan. That's what they call it.
They call it what?
The people from Corrigan call it God's country.
Are we sure that's just not John Cobb?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it makes it so special. I'm trying to get through there without getting a speeding ticket. All I know.
Hey, good thing about it, you don't have to go through it anymore.
You gotta go through Corrigan.
Oh, you still have to go through Corrigan?
Oh yeah. That one's not gonna be ready for a while.
It's called the Battle of Highway 287 Cup. The Battle of 287, baby.
What was it? I heard Corrigan won. What was the score?
I can pull it up.
Didn't they play last week?
They played last week on Friday.
Well, the Corriganites told me they won. They could have been capping on me.
It was 43-7.
That's a win.
Yep.
Corrigan won the Battle of 287, it sounds like.
287 is that's 287.
Well, any other big games? I saw Duncanville, their quarterback threw 7 touchdowns with a win over DeSoto. Forney gets a big win over Longview. Who else have to play? C. King beats C. King played Summer Creek, and I don't think anybody had that game going the way it was. I believe it was 42-7 going in, 42-3 going into halftime. And Summer Creek found a way to come back, but C. King, I don't think they scored a touchdown in the second half and still won that ball game.
Have you gotten the Forney coach on yet?
No, I haven't had him on yet. I've reached out to
They're
him.
good. They got a great running back at Osborne, but I'm telling you, he's got an assistant coach that films his whole game day and puts it on TikTok. Have y'all seen that?
Yeah, I've seen the guy on TikTok. Because the one that he did when he came to Lufkin, it's like one of his most famous videos.
That was a playoff one, wasn't it? Or
no, it was a district game.
We were in their district for a while, for 2 years. And Osborne was a freshman at that point, and
he's headed to Notre Dame.
Yeah, he's good.
He's real good. I don't have any more games really around that I paid attention to last week. But us being on an off week, I got the Friday night. I got to lay at home and watch high school football and a little college football. Then Saturday, got to watch the Horns do what they do. But I guess we can roll over and talk a little college football, man. 2:30 game, Texas versus Oklahoma. Everybody thought that the season was over for Texas. Arch Manning was a flop to the New York Times, and he came out and he played like a pro. He looked great. He made some big-time throws, and the Texas defense just did what they do best, and, they played some great football and came out with a big win over a good Oklahoma football team.
Did you watch the game and you came out thinking that Arch Manning looked like a pro?
Did you not see some of the throws he made?
I watched the entire game, and I took Texas, and I bet pretty good on them, but they didn't win because of – everybody with me took Oklahoma, and I was calling him Dart Manning because he was throwing them darts, but – I was joking. They would not let him throw the ball unless they absolutely had to.
Oh no, man! He threw the ball around. He threw the ball around pretty good. He made some big time throws. That the third down ball to Parker Livingston.
Tier led the game in passing with 202 yards.
Yeah, how many interceptions did he throw?
He threw a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. He threw for 127 attempts for 166 yards. And his long pass was, 27 yards, I think it was? And most of that was on a run.
Yeah.
After catch.
Yeah.
They call that yak.
What
does that break down to? About 8 yards an attempt?
Yeah.
That Wiseman, 22 carries.
I'm saying, 8 yards per attempt. I'm not going to call out and say he's the next coming of freaking Vince Young. How about that?
Man,
it was an improvement. I'll give him that.
Well,
an improvement.
Okay. Well, that's not what our man said. He said he looked like a pro.
Yeah,
he did.
Well,
he made big time throws.
When it comes to Texas, Jalen is.
Well, it is the first game against a Power 5 team that he didn't throw a pick. There's that.
Jalen's fandom, I'm surprised he's not a Lakers fan at this point. I mean, he's got the Yankees, he's got Texas.
I go wherever LeBron goes.
Yeah. Okay. So
Oh, my God.
I go wherever LeBron goes. Wherever LeBron goes, I go.
The bad thing is OU looks not great. They haven't scored a touchdown against Texas in 12 quarters?
It's pretty
I'm not sure they should have brought him back. That was my whole thing. That's why I took Texas.
Really,
I don't think he was ready to play. Threw it all over the county. And I think, don't they have a decent, easy game this week?
Yeah. I think they've got a gauntlet coming down the stretch.
Well, they got to go to South Carolina. But that should be easy. But then they got Ole Miss the next week. I think they'll get right back in it. I think they win both of those games.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't.
Are you shocked they played him?
No.
Well, I'm not on the injury report. I mean, I'm not at the doctor, so I don't know how bad it was. It looked like they were rushing. I don't think if they were playing Texas, he would have played that weekend. That's what I mean to say.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Our guy,
Carolina, in Texas, he wouldn't have played.
Our guy, Coach Riley Dodge, said Quinn Ewers.
Well, he's not him.
I have said this forever. Wasn't Arch on the team last year?
Yes.
Don't you think Sark wants to win football games? He's probably playing the best quarterback.
He played the best quarterback, and that was Quinn Ewers.
Okay, well, he couldn't beat out Quinn. Quinn gets drafted in what round?
6.
Yeah, but we can't even have that conversation. Quinn Ewers is a pure baller.
I'm with
No
you.
one's saying he's not. But
I'm just
the
saying.
expectation of Archie Manning coming into the season was win a national championship and win a
And he still can.
He's not
He can still do all those things.
I
he's
agree
not
with
winning
that.
a Heisman.
Oh, he's not winning the Heisman. No. He can still win the title.
A Heisman's an individual trophy. National championship.
No, it's not. It is not an individual trophy anymore. It's the best player on the best team in the country, which sucks. Unless you have a freak year like.
So you're telling Marcel Reed
and
I know. I told you who was winning the Heisman last week. Y'all didn't listen. Now they're going to win out. He's going to pile up some stats, and Mendoza's going to have his name up in New York first weekend of December. Book it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
I picked a flop last week. I said Michigan was going to win easily.
I agreed with you on that, Klutz.
I did not see that happening.
Y'all come around one of these days. But if you go to that game, this is, I took Missouri. And the whole time I said, Missouri is probably not a team that they don't know how to win this kind of game. Remember that? And that's exactly what happened. They didn't know how to win this kind of game. I felt the same way about Indiana. And then when he threw that pick six to tie the game up to start the fourth quarter, I went, okay, well, here comes the unraveling of Indiana. But, man, they showed their next level. And the way they played the fourth quarter up in Oregon, I think that should show everybody that they're going to be a team that can win the national championship. Because they coming back from that and not really, peeing down their legs, so to speak, going right down on a 7-minute drive and getting a touchdown. That just showed a lot of moxie to me. Get the field goal to clinch it. I'm telling you right now, I've been on Indiana, and I ain't jumping off that ship now.
That was huge for them. Never in my lifetime did I think Indiana would be a good football team, and somehow they are.
He just all you got to do is Google him.
You Google me, baby. What about Penn State firing Jalen's boy?
James Franklin? Big game James?
I
$50
think
million. $8 million a year for the next 6.
I
Unless
can't.
he gets
Like
another job.
$20,000 a day.
Huh?
He's making $20,000 a day.
Yeah, but if he gets a job, they only got to pay the difference or whatever it is.
Yeah. And he has to go looking for it. That was a stipulation in his contract in the buyout.
I'd send
He's
some
gotta go
feelers out, but I'd go coach high school.
He's got to look for an analyst job and another coaching job somewhere.
Oh.
I don't know.
A lot of people think he's going to Michigan State.
Boy, if you were a fan base of Michigan State, how would you feel about that hire?
You'd be pretty excited.
I think you're fine with that.
They probably want John L. Smith back, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Man.
But that game did not go how I thought it at all it would go. I thought there would be a lot more points.
What about what about the halftime ending of Auburn and Georgia?
The
referee screwed up. There's no question.
See, they pull out that still picture and you can see the ball crossing the plane.
I agree.
But
the referee screwed up. There's no other way around it.
There's 3 hands on that ball. There's the guy punching it out, which the ball's on the way out as it's crossing. So I think
the ball was already in before they punched it out. But that's not my point I wanted to get to. This is why coaches are great coaches. This separates the good coach from the great coach that you want coaching your team. Hugh Freeze complained about that call while they're going down on a 99-yard drive to retake the lead. He complained about it at halftime. Those kids heard nothing except about that play call at halftime. And they've heard nothing about it all week. Man, there's a time and place to go get your retribution on this deal, but in the moment, you got the coach, bro. And he didn't do any of that the rest of the ball game, and it showed on the scoreboard.
Yep. Yeah, he didn't score in the second half. Georgia comes back, puts it away, and at some point, coaching's got to take over and compared to complaining about the refs, and it hasn't.
2 years in a row, they've almost won that ball game.
And I'm here to tell you, in my mind, they got one of the worst calls we're going to see this year. But at the same time, it's just halftime. You got a whole half to overcome it. And I just guarantee you, if we would have been in that locker room at halftime, that is not the focal point of the halftime speech. I just guarantee.
What would your halftime speech have been, Nasty?
I wouldn't even have brought it up. I said, hey, our defense is killing it. This is what we got to do to score some points, and let's beat these pricks. But I guarantee you, he complained about that for the first half. The assistant coach is trying to get a game plan, and everybody's just mad about that play, and you got to rally the troops, man.
Yeah, you got to stay positive.
You got to motivate. Whether you know what you're doing with X's or not, you got to get them jacked up. And I'm just telling you, man, you could just see his face. He was ready to fight and cry the rest of the ball game. And it just, I don't know, the kind of stuff just drives me insane.
I don't disagree.
Let's see. UNT.
Then also, he was not clapping, if we can talk about that. He was calling
What do you
timeout.
mean?
Kirby.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't hear it because we were at this, we were at the casino, so the sound wasn't on, but I went to bed early so I could find this and watch exactly what happened so I could just get a feel for it. And I don't know. When I saw how they came out, they're still talking about it. They're talking about it after the game. Hell, they've been talking about it all week.
I just don't know a single person that claps like that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he was doing
just like Sunday night, Patrick Mahomes doesn't get a penalty the entire night. It hadn't happened in like 22 years. A team didn't get a penalty flag. Yep. Kansas City did not get a penalty flag the entire game.
I saw the story, but I can't remember what school it was. They did a study over like the last 10 or 15 years in penalty calls, and they came to the conclusion that Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes have in fact benefited from the refs. They've gotten enough, and I don't know what the numbers are. They put it to definitive proof and put it to the numbers. They like the subject calls of like pass interference and roughing the passer and all this other stuff that are like subjective calls are night and day difference of what Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes gets compared to anybody else, and especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, it's not even. I don't know that. If I would be more mad about that than it was on the Hugh Freeze deals because you know what's coming with this. But I don't know. Either way, we talked about the big wins last week. I just want to give a couple. Our boy Haynes King still hanging in there. 20-24, 200 yards, ran one through one, ran two. So they stay perfect and go out to the Lubbock, man. Texas Tech has won every single game so far by 17 or more points.
That's a real deal.
They're giving less than that this week. Winners.
Are they the real deal?
They don't play.
I don't know. I'm on that ship until it sinks.
I saw something today. A&M needs to win 3 more games, and they're in the playoffs.
That was talking about percentages. Yeah, you could make an argument for it.
3 more games. Well, let's do
if the get in the playoffs, you might as well shut Lufkin down.
Well, it won't be at home. Let's see.
You think it matters?
They got to beat Arkansas.
Yes.
They're only a 7-point favorite. They got to win that game. Good Lord, they got 3 straight road games?
Bobby P is undefeated against A&M.
Well, that Arkansas game's in Dallas. It is every year.
Oh, it is in Dallas? No, it's not.
No, it's in Arkansas.
It's in Fayetteville. My brother's going.
Yeah.
When did they change that?
I don't know. But I know my brother and his family are going to the game.
Oh.
Then it's LSU and at Missouri. Hey, it's not a slam dunk they're in yet because they end up at Texas.
They got Haynes.
I think they got it.
Oh, Le'Veon Moss is hurt.
I can. Oh my goodness! I can see the theatrics. A&M's 8-3. Texas is 9-2.
They both be 9-2 going in.
It's not possible.
Why? Texas has to beat Kansas, Mississippi State. They get Vanderbilt at home. Oh, they got to go to Georgia.
Yeah.
So they're both 8-3.
What if they're both 8-3 and the winner gets in? You think that could be a scenario?
Yeah. Well, that Texas loss to Florida is going to loom big.
I don't know if they can lose 3 and get in. I don't think Texas can lose another game.
No.
What? So hold on. What would the SEC standings be at that point? Because that would be the big thing coming in for that of getting in. So
I
there,
don't think
A&M would be 3-0 in conference. Or they'd lose.
there's only 3 teams undefeated in conference, and Ole Miss is going to lose this weekend. It's happening.
It probably will. I want them to win. I want them to win every game. I want them to win a national championship and watch Lane walk out the door.
How many SEC teams do we think get in? 4 or 5?
3 at least.
No, I'd give 4 in.
You've got the way it sits, though.
They'll get 4 in. I guarantee it. And you can go ahead and put Alabama as one of those. They got Tennessee, LSU, and Oklahoma all at home. They're not losing those games, and then they go to the Iron Bowl. They in.
Georgia's in.
Well, now Georgia's got a little bit. I don't know for sure Georgia's in. They got to beat Ole Miss. They got to go to Florida. They got Texas, and they got to go to my boys at Georgia Tech. That's not a done deal. I don't think. But I think Florida get in.
Win Ole Miss, they should win. It's at home, 2:30
right
between the hedges. At Mississippi State, Texas at home.
At Florida.
No, Florida's in Jacksonville.
So how many SEC teams do you say you think gets in?
ACC?
SEC.
I think 4.
4 SEC teams. So Alabama.
If there's 4, Georgia's in there. They kind of have to be.
Okay, so Alabama, Georgia.
And I think the other 2 will have to play out. I mean, I can't tell you who I think it'll be. I mean,
you think a 3-loss Texas gets in?
Huh?
You think a 3-loss Texas gets in?
That's what I'm saying. It'll depend on what happens around the country. I just don't think we're getting but one ACC team in.
I think Tennessee.
The Big Ten is going to get at least 3. You know, Indiana, Oregon, and Ohio State are going to get in.
And then the ACC will get what?
I think 1. How could they get 2?
Yeah.
Clemson goes on a roll.
How many Big 12 get?
What if Georgia Tech runs the table and Miami runs the table and they're both undefeated and meet in the ACC title game?
They both get in.
They both get in.
Oh, yeah.
But then that would take 1 from the SEC because Georgia may not get in.
So do you think the SEC championship game, both teams get in no matter what?
Depending on who it is.
It's got to be the top 2 rated teams in the conference, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I don't see it how it looks right now. How that couldn't be the case.
Tennessee.
Yeah, somebody that's not in the upper echelon of the rankings right now run the table and sneak in and then lose. That'd be the only way.
Tennessee's got to play Alabama this weekend. That would be if they lose their second conference loss, and then
it's supposed to be cold weather and raining Saturday.
I don't think they lose another one. They have Oklahoma at home, and then they finish with Vanderbilt at home. They have to go to Florida, which at that point they'll have a different coach. But
it's a night game at Alabama this week.
It is
6:15. Alabama's an 8-point favorite.
What was Georgia in that game before?
3.5 at Georgia.
Yeah, but Georgia was in Knoxville, and they didn't
They were favored by 3 at Tennessee, and they were favored at home by 3.5 over Alabama, and they should have lost both. A&M's a 7.5-point favorite at Arkansas this weekend. That ought to be a good one. Georgia's 7.5 over Ole Miss. Yeesh. And how about Vanderbilt favorite at home over LSU? That kind of concerns me. And Duke is favored by 1.5 over the Ramblin' Wreck, my Georgia Tech.
I
I don't like
going.
freaking Blue Devils.
Are you going to Oklahoma game this year?
Yeah, probably one of the last two. I think they finished with LSU at home,
Let me check my calendar.
and or one of the last 3 games is LSU and Missouri, and one of those I'll probably go to. It's in November.
November 29th, LSU. November 22nd, Missouri.
Yeah.
I'm
That'd be
having
fun
surgery the 13th.
Having surgery when?
The 13th. I think I could travel in a sling, though. It wouldn't be too bad.
No.
Yeah.
That Oklahoma's got a gauntlet coming down. They play 5, 11, 6, 16, and 10 in their last 5 games.
Yeah, that's probably not going to end well.
Not if Brent Venables can't think about the offense. Did y'all hear him in the post-game press conference at Texas asking about the running game, like why it can't go any better? And then he was like, well, the defense has got to be better.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to rain in Notre Dame? I mean, USC at Notre Dame catching 10. That's I'm probably going to have some of that, if not all of that.
Taking the 10?
Of course, I was all in on LSU or USC last week, and they spanked Michigan. They might have just celebrated on that and go on the road and lay the egg because they did go and get hammered at Illinois as well. Didn't win that game. Maybe USC likes to stay on that West Coast. He did complain about the travel a lot.
Yeah.
So A&M has at Arkansas, at LSU, at Missouri, South Carolina, Samford, at Texas. If they can win 2 out of the 3 between Arkansas, LSU, Missouri on the road, they should beat South Carolina. They should beat Samford. And then they got to play Texas on the road. That puts them out of 2 lost teams. They'd be 10-2. Does that get them in the national championship game?
No. They're in the playoff.
The tournament.
I'm saying
in the playoff.
not the national championship game, the SEC championship game.
Oh, 2 losses. Does 2 losses get them into the title game? I don't know. I don't think Alabama's losing the conference game. Not 2 of them. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously anybody can slip up, but all their hard games are at home.
I agree.
So I think you have to put them in my opinion, and then you're looking for the next team that can only lose 1. And that could be anybody. It's going to be, just like last year, they thought tiebreakers came into play, and it's probably going to again this year.
Yep.
So do you think this is a lot? You think they start adding more teams after this?
I'm sure they want money. But you saw all 4 of those home games in the first week were blowouts. I mean,
that's so they're changing that this year. It's not the 4 conference winners get the bid.
No, they're going to the top rated teams. You don't have to be a conference winner, but those first 4 games are still at home, where they should be, in my opinion.
They should be more balanced games now.
Yeah. So if you get
after the top 6 or 12 or the playoff picture,
the top 4 get buys, and not to conference championships. The top 4, and then the other 8 games or however the other 4 games, they'll be the 5 play 12 and so forth. So in theory, that makes a lot more sense. At least somebody came up with that.
Yeah. But
good to know. I got the
update
starting lineups. Looks pretty good over here.
There we go.
Well, we kind of covered everything pretty quick this week. We got into high school football, got in the area around us, moved on a little bit, big games around us. College football past weekend this week. James Franklin did get fired. I did not think that was going to happen. I did not see that coming. I thought he was going to get fired maybe at the end of the year. I didn't think he was going to get fired at all after this year. It's kind of hard to fire a guy after everything he did.
To play away from the national championship game.
Yeah, he took Penn State out of some dark times. And
It was losing back-to-back weeks as 20-point favorites more than anything else.
yeah.
Supposedly the fire was gone. Like their behind-the-scenes stuff that had gotten bad, and that's what pushed the move to happen so quick.
Apparently,
And I'm telling you, when they're playing Oregon, and this is why I don't know why he didn't do it. They score that touchdown with like 8 seconds to go. Why didn't they go for 2 to win? Because if you win that, you know what I'm saying? They go to overtime and lose. Man, their defense has been on the field the entire fourth quarter. You score 2 drives in a row, bust that in and kill them, and your whole season turns around. But you go to overtime. It's little things like that, man. That, of course, you look back and it's easy to say that, but he was a chance of going for 2 and winning that game, and they're the number 1 team in the country still. You know they don't go lose if they win that game. And he's still coaching at Penn State, just like a 1-2 point conversion at the end of regulation. It's crazy.
Yep.
Well, what's our plan for next week, boys? I know you guys are headed early to New Orleans.
Well, I'm still deciding how I'm getting there. I don't know if I'm going to take this flight or if I'm going to drive. I don't know yet.
Shutdown's going to have the airport all messed up.
Last night, I don't think we're going to be affected by that by any means. The more and more I think about it, the more convenient it's going to be having my truck.
Isn't the wedding close to where we're staying?
Yeah.
Yes.
What would I need a car for?
Well, I'm not staying at the hotel the first 2 nights.
Oh. Well, I've been down there twice, and neither time have I used my car. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I can't drive it.
That's a good point. I might need to just leave mine at the house. You're right. Probably smart just to leave it at the house.
Not a bad idea.
Avery and I are driving back Monday morning. You can ride back with us.
I bet Joe Hancock would love to hear that. That would really excite him. I think he kind of forgot.
Are we podcasting next week, or are we taking the week off?
We'll be back Monday night.
Yep.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday. I was about to say I will be with Coach Absek at 8:00. Now we can do it at 6.
Now we have that meet next week.
We can do it Tuesday.
Tuesday at 6.
Tuesday at 6. Get it over with. I need
the
to go
final date before the wedding.
I need to write me a list out of everything I'm taking, so I don't know if I make sure I don't forget anything.
Yeah,
I'm not leaving on Saturday. Y'all just call me. I'll bring it with me.
Trust me. I've already told Veronica at the office I have a package coming in, and I was like, if it gets here next week and I'm gone, put it up front or put it on my front porch, and I'll have Nasty grab it.
I'll get it for you, brother.
Hey, shout out to our guys in Hooker Belts. They are taking care of Uncle Nasty for the wedding.
They sent me one.
They got you a belt on the way, all black custom.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. Will it be here before next week?
Yes, it'll be here on time.
Man, I'm gonna be pimping.
You are.
Thank you for the belt.
We got any R. Kelly playing on the playlist?
At the wedding, I hope so.
You gotta have some R. Kelly.
Just
man, come on. The Indian girls love R. Kelly parts.
Nasty, go ahead and take us out of here.
Whataburger. Stop in and get it on your way to pick up that new ride at GMC. And, of course, Saturday night we'll be up at Tia Juanita's watching that Alabama game late on. That's our sponsors. Tell them you heard us right here and listening to us, and we'll be with us every week. That's Whataburger, Tia Juanita's, and, of course, Tyler and the guys at Wright Buick GMC. And everybody load up. We need you down there in Baytown on Friday night. Let's go take care of whatever our ranger is and give him a little honey washing.
That's right. We'll see y'all Friday.
There we go. Later.